Hi Year 1, this is Miss Higgins and I'm going to show you how to make a little mouse out of an egg box. You're going to have to ask your grown-ups to come and help you with this because there's some cutting and there's some sticking and there's maybe some sharp bits as well. So please make sure you've got a grown-up who's going to help you, or your older brother or older sister, and just check with your grown-ups that it's okay. So the things that you're going to need are an egg box. It can be grey, it can be green, it can be whatever colour you like. You're going to need some glue. This is the only glue that I have at home, but you might have some Pritt stick, that would probably be better. You need some scissors, and you probably need some tin foil, or you might need a button or something like that, just to make the eyes of the mouse. You also need something for the whiskers. Now, in the instructions, it says to use toothpicks, little wooden sticks, but I don't have any of those at home. So we are going to use some little ties that you use to tie up sandwich bags, because that's what I've got. But you could use anything that is wooden. You might cut something like this in half, or you can just use some bits of paper that you can roll up and we can stick onto the side of the mouse. So if you don't have anything like that, you can just use the paper. It also might be nice to have a couple of pens or pencils just to colour in some little bits as well. So if you go and make sure that you've got all of those things, let's start and try and make a mouse. The first thing you need to do is you need to get your egg box and you need to find the bit that's got the long nose. So this is going to be the nose of our mouse. And then you're going to have to cut out 2 ears the other side, all right? So these aren't going to be the eyes, but they are going to be the ears. So we need to make sure that when you cut your egg box, it's got a long nose here and then 2 ears. Now this is a bit tricky to cut it, so please make sure that you've got some grown-ups who are going to help you, because you might need some really sharp scissors and it's a bit tricky. So Miss Higgins is going to cut out it first. So that's what it kind of should look like, with the nose and the 2 ears. So then you can cut the ears out as much as you want until it looks a bit like this. I know this one is grey and that one was green, but that's okay. So once we've got our little mouse with our nose and our 2 ears, the next thing we need to do is we need to make its whiskers. So I used a pointy sharp bit that I've got on here, so you can see the pointy sharp bit here, but you can also use the scissors to make the little hole. So that's why you need a grown-up, to make sure that you're not going to cut yourself or hurt yourself with the scissors. Then you need to take whatever you're going to use as your whiskers and you need to put them through the little holes. So there's one whisker there. And let's get another one. And then there's another set of whiskers there. Yep. Sometimes a bit tricky to find how to get it through the hole. There we are. So if you're going to use something like that, you can make your whiskers look a little bit like that. However, and I'm going to take these ones out, you can just use a piece of paper. So you get a strip of piece of paper that you cut like this, and then you can roll it into a tube here. And then you can stick it in the little hole. I've done 4 whiskers for mine, but you can do 6 whiskers. You can do 8 whiskers. You can do as many whiskers as you like. So you can stick those in as well and make some nice whiskers like that. All right. Here is one I made earlier. It's got my whiskers in. As you can see, I've made some eyes here as well, which I've made out of tin foil. So I just ripped a bit like this of this shiny tin foil, which we've looked at in science. This is foil, it's opaque and it's waterproof. Okay, so you make a little ball like this and then you can glue it onto the side here to make the eyes. Then the next thing you need to do is you're going to make these little decoration bits in the ears. Now all I did for that is I used some of my leftover egg box and I just cut some of this. There we are. So I just cut one of these flat bits, not the curvy bits. I took the sticker off of it. And then I cut myself a little piece, make sure that it fits in the ear. And then I cut myself some triangles. So I cut a tiny triangle up here, and then I cut a tiny triangle here, and then I cut a tiny triangle here. And then we stick it in the ear, just like that. Now, because I've used grey in mine, I think I might like to add a little bit of colour into mine. If you're using green, or if you're using purple, or if you're using any of those colours, you might not need to, but I'm going to add a little bit of colour into my mouse. So I'm going to colour these ear bits in. It would be nice to have pink actually, but I've only really got a purple or a grey, so I will use brown instead, because I think brown is quite nice. There we are. So we can colour in the little bits of our ears to make it look like a mouse. Now, if you manage to make a really brilliant mouse, I would like you to take a picture of it and send it to Mrs. Khan using the Year 1 email address, and then we're going to choose the best ones and we'll put them up on the website so that everyone can see them. So, have a great Easter holiday, and I look forward to seeing all of the pictures of all of the mice that you've made. Bye!